My name is Cynthia McCauley. I'm the CEO at St. Mary's in the Palm Beach Children's Hospital. Thank you for coming to our first. I can't believe there's actually the need for a shark survivor, right? It's crazy, and I understand we have somebody who's really hot off the hospital room with a bite. But our first ever shark survivor gathering. Today we're joined by not only incredible survivors, but also our heroic EMS and trauma care teams who were there when it mattered most. This event is a powerful reminder of the resilience, healing, and unbreakable bond between survivors and the professionals who stand beside them through these most critical and challenging moments of their lives. So we are deeply grateful to each survivor for including us in your journey of recovery. And to our emergency and trauma teams, thank you for the life-saving work you do every single day. It's our privilege to celebrate this community of courage, strength, and unwavering support. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Dr. Azar?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Faris Azar. I'm the Trauma Medical Director here at St. Mary's. I'll be brief, but I do just want to say thank you, because this is a team approach. From our pre-hospital colleagues, to the physicians and supporting staff, to the people who organized this event, to our administration. I mean, we can't do it without you. And to the patients, to our survivors, I want to thank you, because events like this are what make it all worth it to us. You know, it's not a situation where I have to go out right now and tell a mother that their child isn't coming home. And we're here today in good spirits celebrating success stories. Some of them recurrent success stories, because you continue to do what you do, your love for the ocean, and some of you are frequent flyers, so to say. Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to have you all here, and I want to open the platform to Dr. Borrego, who's been here for over 30 years, is the reason I was recruited here, is the man who's been dedicated to all of this, that we wouldn't have any of this without, and the shark doctor himself. Please come on up, Dr. Borrego.
Thank you. I'm the doctor that treats shark patients. But anyways, they give me that name, and it's kind of funny, and it's stuck. But welcome, everyone. Thanks again. It's great seeing you guys here again. And I'd like to just go over some of the reasons why we have done this. You know, why is it that St. Mary's Medical Center became a little bit of a special place for shark bitten victims, not only in South Florida, but also in the Bahamas, and also some of the counties to the north of us. So I'll go over the presentation and give you some fun facts and show you a little bit of the research, and then we'll also we'll take a moment to recognize all the survivors that are here, so we could have a little part of their story and know how this has impacted their lives, and also to get an idea, which we unless you have lived it, you really don't know exactly what's going through your mind when you're in the midst of one of these shock attacks. So we go from there. So Florida, as everyone knows or may not know, in the world is the #1 place of the amount of shark bites. Not the deadliest ones and not the lethal ones that you may see in South Africa, Australia, or even up in Northern California. But we do have the biggest number of shark bites every year. And the registry, they say the Florida shark attack file that is kept at the University of Florida in Gainesville has been monitoring this for the longest time, and they have data going back to the 1800s as far as the amount of shark bites in the world. And as far as they can go back, Florida still remains the #1 place for shark attacks. And you can see, and I mean, there's many reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons, obviously, is because Florida it has a lot of waterfront. Not only the ocean that goes entirely around the coast, the Atlantic, and the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America now, but also because of the intercoastal waterways. You know, the state has ocean and intercoastal waterways that go through the entire state. And people may not be aware, but some sharks do live in the intercoastal waterway. You can see frequently bull sharks coming to the intercoastal waterway. And also you can see lemon sharks in there, and some of the other bottom feeders will come into the intercoastal waterway. So being in the intercoastal waterway and getting bitten there is not unusual. And you can see on the graph there, you can see that Palm Beach County is number 3 in the state for the amount of shark bitten victims. And I think because of St. Mary's now, we're probably going to be even more than that, because we're seeing more than the normal. Normally, since I've been here since 1991, and I've been tracking this, everybody knows I'm an avid fisherman. I go to the Bahamas a lot. You know, my kids basically grew up in Green Turtle, in Elbow, fishing and spear fishing. So I've always been tracking this just for my own personal interest. But Palm Beach County in the state of Florida, maybe 4 to 5 a year is what you will see. But it seems like that number is rising. One of the reasons why it's rising here is because the research that we did. You know, we were the first ones to put out a paper in the literature about the bacteria in the shark's mouth, and I'm going to show you some of that. And then that, you know, went everywhere, and it got out there. So then we get referred patients also. So as far as the experience at St. Mary's Medical Center, the amount of shark-bitten victims that we care for is probably higher than a lot of other places in the state or even in the country. The reason people always ask me, you know, what made you want to do this? And it really wasn't my idea. It was the idea of one of the patient's father. We had a little toddler, maybe about 4 or 5 years old, that was bitten by a black tip up off the beach here swimming, and he had a real severe bite. He was in the hospital for a long time, but the wounds got infected, and that prolonged his hospital stay. And the father asked me one day, what type of bacteria in the shark's mouth? And I said, I really don't know. I mean, I have no idea, but I look it up. And I researched the literature. There was nothing written in the literature, absolutely nothing. There was a couple of papers, one paper from Brazil that they had kosher in a necropsy shark, a dead shark. And then there was another one somewhere in Australia. That was it. There was nothing else. No one had even kosher the teeth of the sharks. So being here, you know, loving to fish, I thought it was the perfect project for me, especially because it got me out in the water even more. So we started doing it. We went out and we started. We made it a point not to hurt any sharks. Every shark was released unharmed. We got all the approvals from all the regulatory boards that we needed to get to fish here in the Bahamas, and then swab the sharks. And then we will bring the specimens to the lab here at St. Mary's. And then in the lab, we analyzed the bacteria. We made a big log. And we looked at different types of sharks to see what was in their mouth. We looked at what kind of bacteria, depending on where the shark bit you, were you inshore, offshore, were you in a dock, was it a bottom feeder type of shark like a lemon shark or a nurse shark? Were you in the deep blue ocean and did a white tip get you or something like that? We looked at all that. That's how we analyzed it. And then we came up with some conclusions, and we looked to see, because the reason why this became an issue was because in the past, what we did, if you were bitten by a shark, we just give you a broad spectrum coverage of antibiotics. In layman's term, we call that a shotgun approach. Just get everything, and hopefully something will cure the bacteria. But that carries morbidities to the patient. You know, sometimes the patient could be allergic to an antibiotic that you're giving them, or the antibiotic could cause renal problems, kidney problems, ear problems. They have complications. So if you could target a specific bacteria, then it's better for the patient. They have a less of a hospital stay, and also the cost of taking care of the patient is much less if you do that. And that's what we aim to do. And then once we looked at this law, we were able to tell the patient, well, the patient normally don't know what type of shark bit them. Some people do, because some people are, obviously they're experts also. If you're spearfishing, you most likely know about sharks. So, but some people that are swimming in the beach, they don't have that kind of knowledge. But if they tell us where they were, what they thought, whether bay, was it in the deep blue water or not, then we could make an analysis and then give you a targeted approach to the antibiotics. Now, let me say something. So, this is not the most important thing when you get bitten by a shark, by the way, and these guys will tell you. The most important thing is to survive the bite. And that's why I give anyone who's gotten bitten by a shark a lot of credit, especially when you're spearfishing in deep water and you get bitten by a shark. You have a lot of stuff to contend with. Is a shark going to bite you again? Are you going to bleed to death because the salt water washes out the clot and you can't form a clot? Or are you going to drown? Can you get out of the water safely? All these things are going through your mind. So surviving that is the biggest thing. And what I tell people is, anyone who is in any water sport, and this is from experience, all of us, all the trauma surgeons here will tell you the same thing. If you're doing water sports of any type, any sort, you have to have a tourniquet. And I'm not the one, I have the Palm Beach firefighters are here, everyone, all the paramedics, they'll tell you, and I could tell you also, from my military experience as well, that it is the tourniquet that saves your life. A lot of the patients that we've had with severe injuries will have not survived if it weren't for somebody placing a tourniquet or them placing a tourniquet on themselves. I carry 3 in my fishing bag. I always have, in every bag that I have a tourniquet. I have one of those stop the bleed kits in the bag. So that's safety warning number 1. And then just to be careful, I don't have to tell people that spearfishing are in the ocean safety tips because they do know it. But some people don't, like the beach goers, maybe some of the surfers and stuff like that. So they do need to hear it. Sharks normally feed more during dusk and dawn. For some reason they like that low light time. Maybe they could ambush prey better or something. I don't know. They have a lot of sensors that they could use. So swimming during that time, you have to be especially careful if you're swimming at dusk and dawn, or you're spearfishing, or you're in the water for some reason. And then one of the biggest things that I see also when I come up and down the beach here, and we have a drone that we fly the drone. A lot of times you see the tourists, especially that I don't know, they come from up north and they're swimming, especially in the winter time. There's a lot of bait in the water, and there's a migration here of black-tip sharks. They come in the thousands, and they slash through the water eating bait. And if you're in there with the bait, then you're likely you could get bitten. So that's another thing. And then if you do encounter a shark, yes, stay away, respect it. Don't play with it. Don't try to feed the shark. Trust me, they're very capable of feeding themselves. They don't need any help from humans. So those are some of the things. This is out there, this is a little car that could be, is that passed around? Is that possible? So the safety tips from the beach Shark Smart could be passed around. These are some of the symptoms that I'm mentioning, but you have it there so you can look at it. The study was very, very good. We're very happy that we did it. We are here to help survivors in any way that we can, and we will continue to do so. There's a lot more stuff that could be done in preventing shark bites and being able to, no one should be afraid of sharks. Sharks normally don't have humans on the menu. And I think, if you get bitten by a 400-pound bull shark, and the 400-pound bull shark wanted to kill you, he could kill you in one bite. You have no chance. There's some chances, there's no way that a human being, in any fashion, could overtake a 400-pound bull shark coming at you at 15 or 20 miles an hour. It's impossible. So the reason why people survive is because the shark doesn't really want to eat you. I think that they bite you and they realize that you're not a tuna, you're not a bonita, and then they let you go. There have been some fatal bites from the initial bite. So you don't have to be afraid of sharks, you have to respect the sharks. And then we could also enjoy the water if we leave them alone. There's no reason to be afraid of it, just to be smart about it and try to avoid being a victim. Next.
Yeah, so our survivors are next.
Okay, so that's just going to announce the survivors and they're going to come up.
Yes. So the first survivor, if Bert Krebs can come up. Dr. Borrego is just going to talk a little bit about your case, and then we'll ask whoever was involved with Bert Krebs' case. I believe you came from Martin County, and we have some people here that were, and you're already pointing them out.
So remember Bert was surfing off a bathtub
Well, no, in Hope Sound in Jupiter Island.
near in Ho Sound when you had your encounter with a shark. So you want to tell them a little bit your experience?
Yeah, so I had just ridden a wave and was finishing. I jumped off my board and basically
Closer to the mics.
Oh, yeah, sure. So yeah, I was riding a wave and I just finished and hopped off my board, and I was basically going to get right back on my board, and I kind of kicked my feet, and I thought I kicked something, and the shark actually was biting my foot, and so I obviously felt it, kind of reacted, pulled, and then really just got on my board. I knew what happened, and my friends were close by, yelled to them, and started paddling in. I didn't even look at my foot. I knew what had happened. I had, imagined it. I never really wanted it to happen, obviously, but there were times when you see sharks and you see creatures out there, and so that's kind of how it all went about.
Wow. And I think that first picture, right?
Yes.
You sent that to us. That's when it first happened.
Yeah, so there was a off-duty firefighter named Kyle. I don't know if Kyle's here or not, but he was a Boynton Beach firefighter, and he happened to be living or staying in a house right there. He saw what was going on. He actually took the picture, had gauze and water, and basically they cut off the part of my foot that was bloody, but it's there. And he gave me that picture, so I was grateful for that, because that was right. I mean, that's the road that we went out on.
Wow.
So his injuries, you can't tell there because it's already closed, but it was like a big glove injury of the foot. There was some injuries to some of the tendons that raised the foot, and he we discharged him. He didn't get any infection or anything like that. But then we saw him multiple times at the wound care center as he started to regain on his function little by little. At first, I was kind of worried that he might have some nerve damage. Do you have anything left?
There's still some like numbness and tingling on my big toe. I think my big toe really got the run of it, even though I lost part of my little toe. The big toe, I find, is what lingers.
Yeah, he had an injury to that, a little bit of an injury to that nerve. But if it's only the big toe, that means that you've regained a lot. So I remember that you were having a hard time raising the foot.
Yeah. So I had a tendon repair after
I saw you.
everything healed. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so now I can move it more than I could
Perfect.
without it.
Wow.
Very good. Well, here's your for being. I don't know if this is good or bad.
Yeah.
And then can the Martin County Fire Rescue come up here? And if you want to say a couple things.
Are you surfing again?
I am.
Bert has also shown us that this is a hereditary process, and didn't what happened to your son?
Yeah, my son actually was bitten in November of 2020. This happened in 2023 in February, and in November he got, it wasn't as severe and traumatic, but he was bitten on his arm. And
Same location?
roughly, it's Jupiter Island area. So yeah, my wife has two men in her life that have been bite sharks.
And then this is he was on the crew
Yes.
that day, if you
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
You want to, do you remember that day?
I do. Yeah, my name's Alex. I was on the call. Some of my crew members aren't here, but I think it was just two of us at the time, and we saw Bert lied out kind of like that. We had one of our medics that was already on scene, and I mean, you were already wrapped up, so he was in good spirits. You could see him smiling, and he was, he was taking it in good stride. We just tried to, make sure that the bleeding was controlled, and try to just keep him calm. So my goal was to drive. I had another medic partner that was rendering care in the back. So how that ride went, I hope it wasn't too bumpy.
No, not at all.
Um,
I did pass out at one point. I think kind of freaked you guys out a little bit.
I did hear that where, yeah, my partner said that he went white and kind of had a moment where I think it was probably just the severity of the call, just, you know.
Maybe
so,
I was laying down and it was kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing, and I maybe relaxed a little bit, or I don't know what.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But I
We're glad
appreciate
to see you
it.
doing good.
I appreciate it.
Alex, say your first and last name.
My name's Alex Filipovski.
How do you spell it?
Filipovski.
And what's your role with Mark County?
I'm a firefighter paramedic.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next survivor is River Carney. You want to come up with your mom, or mom could stay there, whichever. All right, awesome.
Oh my God, River, we didn't recognize you.
What's up? Yeah, that's me.
Uh,
Yeah, so I got bit. It wasn't really that much fun. I would not recommend it. So, but yeah, that happened. I think two and a half years ago. Yeah, I was like 10. It was really, really scary, but apparently I was very positive. I was playing around in the water, and it decided to come up and bite me from behind. I did kick it away because I decided to do that. But it was really, really scary, but I ended up trying to figure out what I was going to do over that. After that, I was just determined to get covered, and I ended up doing that in a few months. I was holding my breath the whole time I was talking, so.
You did great.
That's why I talked like that.
You did great.
Yeah, that was really scary. You can see the foot. Yeah.
So River, yeah, she was on the beach in Ho Sound, and based on her body characteristics and where she was, we think that it was a black tip sharks that got her. She had some pretty severe injuries to her foot, as you could see in the pictures, but she had a great attitude. Do you remember what you said that you liked most about the hospital stay?
No, I forgot. I forgot.
I think it was about the popsicles.
Oh yeah, that was I love food.
You liked the popsicles the most.
Yeah, probably.
Dr. Haas was the doctor that was here that took care of you when you first came in.
Yeah, she was probably a foot
Oh.
shorter than she is now, but
Don't follow
Say
me.
your first and last name.
I think, about this high when I first met her. And like with any trauma, we first control the bleeding and then deal about the functionality and everything else which will follow. But obviously she did very well. And speaking to her mother, I guess functionally, you're walking, no problem, right?
I'm
And
back to flag football.
yeah, so flag football. But functionality is key afterwards. It's always life of a limb, and that's what we do with every trauma here.
So you back in the water?
No, I'm never going in the water again.
Spelling first and last name for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first name is Nir, spelled N-I-R. Last name is Hus, H-U-S.
Thank you. And I believe we also have some Martin County Fire Rescue personnel here who also took care of you. You guys want to come up? It might just be you.
Yeah, so again, with the doc, yeah, she was about this big when we got to see her. She actually handled it very well. She, again, controlled the bleeding and just tried to make her comfortable. Was it your first time in the ambulance?
Was it? I don't know.
So, just being nervous and stuff, we have little stuffed animals and stuff in the...
I still have that.
Do you really? Okay,
Yeah.
so we gave her a little stuffed animal to kind of keep her mood like good, and she handled it well. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to. I totally forgot about this call, and then when we got invited to this, it kind of made me remember. And then seeing you was like, oh, all right, there she is. So I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see her, healed and doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you have to say your name
Oh,
and
okay.
your where you're from.
Yeah. My name is Jesse Ford, Jesseford, and Martin County Fire Rescue Lieutenant.
Thank you.
And yeah, very
Oh
cool.
wait, I had to add one thing. I did end up running out of the water, so I ran on land with a foot that was bleeding open. So yeah.
I just remember it being very sandy.
Yeah.
We had to,
Yeah.
try to
I don't know
irrigate
how I
her
did
foot.
that, but I did it.
All right, well, for you being so brave, then you get the little award.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, River. Can Jeffrey Joel come up? He is our next survivor.
Hey everyone, my story's a little bit different than most of you. I was actually trying to help a shark that was caught, its head was caught in a fish stringer, and I was trying to get it out, and I did, got it released. She got away, but she got me too. But it's kind of it's not the same as spearfishing or you know, if you're surfing or something. It's just a completely different story, but I dive with sharks a lot. That's what I do for the last 20 years, and I spearfish too. And I've been surrounded by a dozen bull sharks. I've never had an issue. So the best thing I can say is, if you're in murky water or anything like that, be in a full wetsuit, black, everything black, because sharks don't see well. That's the thing. They see about as good as you do. If you go in a pool and open your eyes, you know, it's all blurry. That's about how well they see. So they see contrast. So if you have white skin, you know, or jewelry on or something flashy, they're going to come and check it out. And, you know, they don't have hands, so they check it out by with their mouth. And hell, 9 times out of 10, it's mistaken identity. The people that get bit, you know, sharks, they don't come after people. You're not on their diet. And, you know, so you just have to be aware of that. Surfers, spearfishermen, you know, swimmers at the beach. You look at, if it's murky water and you're going in like this, I mean, especially in Florida, it's a good chance, you know, you're going to get bit by something. It might not even be a shark, it might be something else. But if you're in all black, chances of getting bit are minimal. So that's my best advice, is be aware of your surroundings and, you know, be the proper attire, I guess.
Which kind of shark were you trying to read? What kind of shark was
It was a lemon.
A lemon shark?
Yeah.
And where was that? Where was that happening at?
Off Jupiter, 4 miles.
4 miles off Jupiter on the drop-off?
Inside the drop-off.
Inside the drop-off?
Yeah.
Huh. The lemon shark was way out there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. And you were at the bottom?
No,
Where
this
the
is
net-
actually on our safety stop at 20 feet.
Oh, you were coming up and you saw it.
Right.
What kind of net? It was just wrapped up in a net?
No, it's a fish stringer.
It was in a stringer.
Yeah.
Somebody had it?
Somehow it swam into the
Into
fish
the
stringer,
stringer.
and it couldn't get out. You know, you can't swim backwards, so it was jammed in there. So I did get it off, but
Were you using
when I
it?
approached it, you know, I always look at it before and it was, you know, it was limp. It wasn't even thrashing around. But then we think, I mean, I have the video. I think another diver spooked it, and then she started flashing and flipped upside down. She just happened to come this way and got me.
So, I mean, it's not recommended to try to touch a shark, but if you do, and if you have to do what he had to do, the sharks have an organ that's called the ampulla lorenzini, and the ampulla lorenzini is an organ of the sensory. It's a sensory organ that's super sensitive, and it's an electromagnetic sensor that they have. Some sharks have it in the nose, and they also have it in the lateral line. So what we did, in order for us to be able to swab them, we swab them in the water, a lot of them, just holding them out. So you rub their snout, it's called the ampulla lorenzini, and when they go into this state, it's called tonic immobility. And if you guys have seen the videos, it is guys that do it at Tiger Beach in the Bahamas. They get a tiger shark and literally hold it, but the reason why the tiger shark lets you do that is because of a sensor. So I don't know, you know, if that was a...
I don't know. I mean, we've done that before. I mean, it's easy too with silkies. You can, you know, you twist them, and the same
Then
thing.
you have to
with
cut it. Were you using a dive knife to cut them loose?
No, it was a latch. I had to push it.
Oh, you had to
Yeah,
open it
yeah.
from the latch from the stringer. Wow.
And I believe we have personnel from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue here that were here, or there, I should say, when it happened.
Jeff, just while you're still up there, would you tell us, sorry Jeff, would you tell us when this happened and just what it's like to be back at the hospital and see those?
It was 5 days ago. It was Saturday. It was past Saturday.
Okay. And just to be reunited with the people that helped you out, what do you?
Oh yeah, well, I did this for a long time. I retired from Palm Beach County, so.
Interesting switch to chain of events.
Yeah. See, at least.
Here's what you want to come up and.
Oh, sure.
Hello, I'm Brian Burris, EMS captain for Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, stationed in Jupiter. And when you hear these calls come in, I'm going to echo a little bit of what Doc said. The big thing that we think about is massive hemorrhage with these types of incidents. So when I heard this call come in, being a big diver myself, so much like Jeff, the first thing I think about is massive hemorrhage. And then what was great about this crew on the boat is they ended up putting a tourniquet on him right away. If you see the location of his bite, it was in an area where we have a lot of arteries, the radial artery as such. And when I got on scene, we have whole blood, we have plasma on my truck to be able to deliver in the field, to be able to transfuse right in the field to give these patients. God forbid we have to do that. So thankfully, we were able to control the bleeding. We got him back in the back of the rescue. He's in great spirits. It was an awesome, just a little bit of a conversation, talking a little bit about him being a firefighter as well. And the worst part of the whole call for me was being a diver. I had to cut his wetsuit. Yeah. That still stings me. That stings me a little bit. We tried to get his wetsuit off of his injury, but eventually we said, we're probably going to do more damage. So we ended up having to cut some of his wetsuit off there. But it ended up being a great call, and be able to just serve one of our retired individuals was great. So.
Question,
Yeah.
Mr. Joel.
Oh, sorry.
So were you spearfishing at the time?
No.
Okay, you were
No.
diving?
Yeah, I take a lot of photos. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see thousands of them.
Got it, very nice. How far deep into the ocean were you? Were you by the shore?
No, we were 4 miles out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long were you in the hospital?
Saturday and Sunday, they released me on Monday. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Have you ever come out of the ocean bleeding before?
Never.
First time?
Hopefully the last time.
And last.
Hopefully the last.
No. You're on the trucks a lot.
Sorry. Did someone call for help and then you showed up?
Yeah, I was dispatched to the call after I believe somebody on the boat probably called in. We had units come to the scene, stand by at the dock, waiting for I think it was about 20 minutes until he came in the inlet. So we had everybody standing by. We made contact with him as soon as he came in to the dock, and then we were able to assess him. He was in great spirits. We were able to get him off the dock. He had a bad flip flop. It's kind of like out of a Jimmy Buffett song. Yeah, but yeah, he was able to get him out to the rescue truck and then kind of assess him. Unfortunately, that's where we had to cut the wetsuit.
What time of day was it?
Yeah, last name Burris, B-U-R-E-S. First name Brian with a Y. It was probably around, it's like early afternoon, maybe?
Yeah.
Mid-afternoon?
Yeah, mid-afternoon.
Yeah, or something like that.
And where exactly in Jupiter?
I'm the EMS captain for Jupiter, so I cover on B shift. We have a couple EMS captains. I cover all of the town of Jupiter and the other municipalities in the area.
Where did the bite happen?
Off Jupiter.
Yeah, it was off
Jupiter.
Jupiter,
Yeah, out of the inlet, right?
They brought me in at Square Grouper.
Yeah, we set up a Square Grouper usually.
Are you from Jupiter?
Hobestown.
Okay, how old are you?
69.
How's your hand doing now?
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
how's it feel to be
swollen,
back?
Swollen, but
In 5 days.
Yeah, maybe you have to wrap it from here up, because your
You
hand,
think?
that's why it's swollen, yeah. When you wrap it so, it has to come all the way up.
okay.
Do you have
Uh,
any
fingers
tendon
are
issues
good.
or?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Good. I'm missing nothing.
No, well, a little numbers here. I think, isn't that from the swelling?
Could be, yeah. Somebody's right, yeah, we wrap it. All right, so here's for you, not only for getting bitten by a shark, but you saved the shark.
Saved it.
Yes.
Special one. And for, thank you for your service as a firefighter.
Thank you for you. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Can we take a picture?
Oh.
Doctor and Ricky.
Who's next?
Dr. Brago.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Good to see you.
Michael. And our last survivor, who's actually currently admitted here, he agreed to come down to hang out with us and talk a little bit, but Michael Reich.
So Mark, I believe you were in Green Turtle?
I had a house in Green Turtle. We were diving off of Spanish Key.
Okay. Which house is your house in Green Turtle?
It's near the Bluff House. It's a big
By the Bluff
blue
House?
house on the hill. Yeah, right by the Bluff House.
Oh, the big blue house when you first come in,
Yes.
White Sound?
Yes. No, not when you first come in, past the Bluff
Past the
House.
Bluff House on the White Sound.
On the left side.
And
But
then you
anyway,
went
so we were
Spanish
up.
Key.
We were up at
Sir, if you're not
Spanish.
getting in front of the podium, I apologize, it's just, we won't be able to hear your sound unless you're right in front of the.
So we were diving off of Spanish Key, where we've dove many times before, and it was with my two boys. My wife was driving the boat, and we jumped in the water. We're probably in the water 5 minutes. It was about 2:00 in the afternoon, and saw a nice hogfish snapper, which is my favorite. Went down and I looked around. I always look around, because it's kind of a sharky area. I was near the boat, and my two boys were not that far away, and so I went down and speared him. And on my way up, I noticed the fish was really fighting. He was putting up more of a fight than he normally do. So I got him up and out of the
You had him on a
water.
pole spear or
Had a pole spear.
A pole spear.
Yeah. And so I got him out of the water, and the next thing I felt right after I got him out of the water was a hit on my right side, and so I kind of knew it was a shark because it had real sharp skin. It felt like he was biting me, but it was just his skin rubbing against my body. And then I looked up, and he was in front of me, and so I kind of tried to push him off with my spear. And then he shot behind me, and at that point I just got rid of my spear because the fish was on the spear, and I was hoping he was going to go after the fish at that point. And I threw my elbow back because I thought he was going to hit my side, and he grabbed my elbow. And he kind of shook it for a couple seconds and then released me. And thank God my wife was driving the boat. She had the boat right there, and I was able to get on the dive platform, which was, don't ask me how I got up, but I got on the dive platform and was able to, get on the boat. My sons got on the boat, and so they wrapped my arm up real good to control the bleeding, and my wife took off to the shoreline and broadcast a shark attack on the,
Were you
on
guys
the radio.
outside? Were you also on the reef side?
We were on the reef. We were on the outside, on the reef side, but not outside the reef, on the inside.
On
About
the
a
inside,
mile off
so
the
she just
shore.
came in inside the reef.
Yes, we were about a mile off
So
the
she
shore.
didn't have to go to the cut.
Right. Well, we had to go through the cup because we went to the marina and got
Okay.
first aid at the marina.
Wow.
But the whole thing happened so quickly. I mean, you can't really. 10 seconds, it was over. And then when I was on the boat, the biggest fear, it wasn't the pain that was so bad. It was just there was a lot of blood, and I thought, man, this isn't good. But
Yeah, so the reason why I was asking him all those questions, he's not saying it, but he's on a Spanish Key, even though it's one of the islands of the Abacos. It's a little remote by the fact that it's surrounded by reef and rocks that come out of it. So for his wife to be able to navigate him quickly to the shore could be a problem.
Right.
And
Right.
he's not saying
well,
it.
that was a concern because I said, please don't hit anything.
Right, because that would be a big problem.
But that all worked out, and then shortly after that, I was in Cooperstown at the clinic, and then I ended up they medevaced me to Nassau. I think it was Princess Margaret Hospital, and then we flew back to Palm Beach, and then got here, got some very very good treatment here. Been here about a week now, and I should be released today.
Michael, tell us who's with you today.
Who was with me? My wife and my two sons.
Do you have another family experience with the shark fight?
Yes, my brother, who's in the audience, was a shark attack victim about 25 years ago off of Walker's Key. Yeah, he's here today. He has a good story to tell too.
When did this happen for you? When was that?
This was a week ago yesterday.
So, were you able to see the shark or no?
I did see him. When he hit me the first time, he flew by, and it was so fast I didn't see him in the water. He kicked the water, kind of. It was all kind of. But I did see him. I did see him like face to face. He was probably 3 feet away. And it looked like either was a small bull shark or a big reef shark.
Yeah.
And one of my sons saw him. And you saw a picture.
Yeah, I saw the picture. So, and I was thinking, and I showed it to my daughter. My daughter collects sharks. She's like an expert on it. So I showed her the picture without her knowing how big it was, how been zoomed in. She said that it looked either like a bull shark or possibly a little gray white because of the shape of it.
Right.
But then she told me, I heard that it was very small and was blown up.
Right. That's very small.
Thinking to me from what you told me, how it was erratic and doing all this stuff, so it's like a big reef shark.
Yeah, it could have been.
That probably got you.
Yeah.
And then also by the nature of your bites and the width of the bites.
Right.
It sounds like it was probably a reef. And the reef sharks do that a lot. Whenever we're spear fishing, and then you get and I also asked him what he was using. When you're using a pole spear, the tip comes off, but it stays attached to the pole spear. So then the fish could flail around like this.
Right.
While you're carrying them on the pole spear, the fish is doing this on the pole spear, which also, as you know, brings the sharks in, as opposed to with a sling.
Right.
That then they go to the bottom, and then you pick them up off the bottom. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's something you also have to be aware of if you're spear fishing. And he also said another thing. He said like it's a sharky area. Well, Spanish Key is known for the sharks are in the marina all the time. And when we go fishing in Spanish, we have not one person but two as buddies. Because it's such a sharky area.
Right, it's a sharky area. And
Totally.
it seems to me the more people in the water, the safer you are around the sharks.
Yeah.
If you're kind of by yourself, it seems they're a lot more aggressive.
They are,
than if
that's
you're
for
in a
sure.
group.
Michael, can you tell us, first of all, how old you are, how your injury is recovering, and are you expected to have full use of your arm again?
I'm 66. My arm I'm in no pain virtually right now. They did a really good job of, several cleanings and surgery to fix it, and I'm expected to have a full recovery. But the doctor said I was very lucky not to have any serious damage.
And just to be back in the room with them today after everything that you've been through, is there anything you want to tell the doctor or just tell us how it feels?
No, I just thank everybody here. They've been wonderful. The treatment's been great, and but I'm ready to go home.
Are you scared to get back in the water?
No, I'll be back for lobster season.
Dr. Azar took care of him when he came in. He was just a couple of words.
Yes.
So Michael's made a tremendous recovery here. I mean, he's had, as he said, multiple debridements and washouts for the wounds that he sustained. I mean, he has serious wounds to the upper arm and less significant, but a lot more soft tissue damage to the lower arm. He did transect the triceps muscle and some of the tendon involved in the upper arm, so it required multiple surgeries to completely fix everything. But with his good spirits, he is going to make a full recovery.
Thank you. It's been about 3 weeks.
Replace. Okay, so here's your award for surviving your encounter.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I just want to say something. With all the bad rap, just one thing to think about is the fact that we live in a state that has a lot of water, right? And a lot of coconuts. And about the fatalities of sharks versus coconuts is 1 to 20 in favors of the coconuts. So for any shark fatality, there are 20 to actually 30, depending on what data you look at, people that actually die from coconuts rather than sharks. So I know this is a bad rap for the sharks, but just think about that perspective. Nobody is going out there saying, let's get rid of coconuts. So that's all.
Thank you. So I would just like to call up Jerry DiStefano. She is the CNO of St. Mary's Medical Center. Oh, we have a question? No question. Okay, Jerry, come on up.
Hi, I'm Jerry DiStefano, and I'm the interim chief nursing officer here at St. Mary's. Thank you so much for coming to share your stories. The courage and strength that you have shown is just amazing. We are proud to serve the community as a level 1 trauma center, and a special thank you to Dr. Borrego for sharing his impactful research. And thank you to our EMS providers for all that you do, and most certainly our dedicated trauma team here at St. Mary's. Thank you very much.